It's time now for County-Wide, a presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. You'll hear about the interesting issues and happenings that affect all our lives. Here's today's County-Wide.
Well, good day, everybody, and welcome to County-Wide. I'm Brad Miller, and we're happy to welcome into studio today an artist in Clarkdale and has done some really interesting work. And we've talked with Percy Warcloud Edwards on previous programs, different programs here at Yavapai Broadcasting. But we're going to talk about something very special today. So, Percy, welcome to studio. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me.
Let's get into this. You and I, let's just be honest, we bumped into each other at the bar the other night.
Yes, I was at the block party at Clarkdale, and I had to go use the men's room, and there you were. And so I had Emily, your wife, waved me over, so I had to come over and say hi.
Say hi, and then we got chatting about some really interesting stuff that you are involved in, and I'll tell you, it's I need to get out a little more often because what a terrific idea and what an interesting story that you've agreed to share with our listeners today. Now, our listeners will be familiar. We talked with a number of folks recently when the Vietnam veterans replica wall was at Fort Verde, near Fort Verde there in Camp Verde. Sheila Stubler at Fort Verde helping us with a number of programs we did. So I know our listeners will be familiar with that. But you attended that as well as a native dancer. Am I saying this right? Make sure I'm doing it correctly.
Yeah, native powwow dancer,
okay.
Officially.
Okay. Now, how did that come to be? How did you become part of the wall and the commemoration there?
Well, Shelley and I are good friends, and my neighbor Larry Stewart, who got me into performing at the fort for reenactments.
Okay.
And I was there for the parade, and I sat out and watched the parade go by and in my outfit, and it was kind of fun. So she reached out to me, and so did the chairwoman of the Cliff Castle Casino, wanted me to dance.
Okay.
And I said, yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I'll go out there and perform. So that's how I got to go there. Because my dad was a disabled American veteran of 20 years. And I grew up an Air Force brat. I was born on an Air Force base and spent most of my childhood there before my dad got sick. And he's 100% disabled American veteran. And we moved back to the reservation. And that was a cultural shock for someone who grew up in Tacoma.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Your life really kind of changed along that path as being, you said military brat.
Yeah.
As a lot of young people do, because there's so much kind of moving around, adding into the fact I want to say this properly, kind of lost touch or were not in touch as well with your native culture.
No, I wasn't, because my dad was an orphan at 6 years old. And his parents and his sister and brother all died of alcoholism before age 40.
I'm sorry. So
he really didn't want anything to do with Native Americans or booze or alcohol, because the predisposition that we have toward it. So he went straight Air Force, and we went along and we had square meals. We had butch haircuts like my dad.
Okay.
and
military kids.
And my mom was. Well, both my parents were raised on the reservation until 6 years old, my dad and my mom, until she was in high school. But she had the culture grasped. She's actually a shaman, a medicine woman.
Okay.
But my dad stayed clear away from it.
Okay.
And he wanted one of us kids to go to college, one of us. And I was the one who was chosen to graduate college and move on. And I left the reservation as fast as I could.
Okay.
The reservation and up in Washington State by Spokane is just very impoverished. And I wasn't too happy about the Indians or natives, putting their hand out, looking for government assistance. Hey, how about pull your bootstraps up and tighten them up?
You took a different path.
Yeah, I took a different path.
Okay.
And I didn't look back. And but I did send a blanket to my mother every Chinook dance she had. And that's a medicine dance where she takes care of her spirit.
Okay.
They put her down for a year. So that was as far as my native culture went. And from then it was, the running joke is my wife Shelley married a white guy and I turned to be native.
Okay. Now we're gonna jump quite a little bit forward. That history is important because it informs how you did slowly become over time more in touch with that native ancestry, to a point you have adopted it in a way that probably a lot of people never are able to. And I want to tell our listeners that on our Facebook page, the KVRD Facebook page, there are photos of some of your travels and some of the native dress that you wear at these different appearances, and I've never seen anything like it. You are a walking piece of artwork. Please take a look at our Facebook page. To our listeners, it's simply Facebook and KVRD. You'll see Percy's pictures that he's provided. It's extraordinary. How did that begin?
Well, I was in Sacramento, and my brother, who danced all his life, came down to visit, and he goes, "Here, fill out this paperwork for eagle feathers." And I'm looking at him like, "Yeah, I thought she shot him or something." And he goes, no, you can't shoot eagles. So I go, "Well, you don't find them laying around,
right.
You know." He goes, "No, the government gets them turned in from all over the United States and mostly Canada. Mostly Alaska, where they're like crows up there.
They're everywhere."
And so about 1,000 eagles get turned into the conservatory in Colorado, and the natives, sign the paperwork out. The paperwork goes to Bureau of Indian Affairs in Portland, Oregon, on my side, and they verify to the tribe, going, "Hey, is Percy part of the Colville Confederated Tribe?" And they go, "Yes, he is."
Right.
Your order is being fulfilled. First come, first serve. Very
specific process for that.
So I did that in 2003. And I didn't want to dance. I'm not a dancer. I just ignored it. And 3 years later, I get a call from the government saying, "You have to sign for this box." I'm going, "Why?" "Well, you'll understand." So a big box, probably like 3 feet by 1 foot by 1 foot, showed up. And I opened the box, and here in dry ice was a dead bald eagle. And I pulled him out, and just the entrails were taken out. And I called my mom right away. "Mom, what do I do?" She goes, "Haven't you plucked a chicken?" I go, "Heck no, I buy them at the grocery store."
Didn't know anything about it.
I didn't know how to pluck them or what to do. And she showed me how. She goes, "You got to number the feathers because each side has 25 feathers. So it's 50 to a bustle."
Okay.
And I'm going, "Oh, okay, whatever, So that night was a Monday night. I started dreaming dancing with the old ones. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday morning, I turned to my wife and I says, "I'm going to learn how to dance."
Yeah.
She gave me the weirdest look, like, "What? Do you know how to dance?" I'm going, "Well, I was a good modern dancer, but no." And I struck a conversation. I called my brother. I'm going, "Can I have the feathers? I'm going to start dancing." Boy, he screamed loud and was excited. "Hey, get the brothers out there dancing." And I called my mom, and she screamed and hung up the phone. Oh, what the heck was that? My parents live 1,000 miles away. 10 o'clock the next morning, my mom showed up with a sewing machine, some leather and beading beads. She's going to show me how to do peyote bead, lazy stitch.
So she instantly was very excited that you were falling into these traditions.
Yes.
That you hadn't kind of grabbed onto before. And it happened very quickly.
Very quickly.
After kind of the arrival. There's something going on there.
Oh, yeah.
There's a spirit going on that something has worked its way into your life.
My mom was so excited I was turning native.
Yeah.
And
so now, tell me, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the eagle feathers are important when you do for the dancing and the costuming. Those are kind of the critical piece. That's why this was such a big step.
Right.
Okay.
Other stuff you don't have to have. Well, you can't. You as a citizen, non-native, can't have an eagle feather.
Right.
I think it's $1,000 fine if you're caught with one.
Yeah.
Or if you try to sell them, well, that's even worse. Sure. And I've known natives to shoot an eagle, and they have $25,000 fines and go to jail.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
So no, you don't. And I see bald eagles. I see them all the time around here.
Sure.
So I get a little jittery, like, if he only fell in front of me and died of old age, I'd be happy. But that doesn't happen.
Only kind of way. Well, let's do this. I want to take just a short break because this costuming and this journey that you've started on is going to take you to the walls and the monuments of Washington, D.C., and we'll share that part of the story again as we take a break with Percy Warcloud Edwards. Take a look at the KVRD Facebook page, and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. I don't know what the word is, costuming?
Outfit.
Or outfit. Okay.
Yeah.
The outfits, the native outfits, the traditional outfits that Percy wears so proudly and so beautifully are extraordinary to see. So take a look there as we take a break, and we'll come back, chat more with Percy Warcloud Edwards right after this on Countywide.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called unexpected. So when it comes to financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Matthias Sandoval. A job loss, change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Call our office to schedule a face-to-face appointment.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Verde Solaire, your hometown heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company in the Verde Valley, and your trusted North Central Arizona Goodman dealer. Goodman is a name you can trust with the revolutionary Comfort Bridge technology factory installed into select Goodman gas furnaces and air handlers to ensure the entire system operates at peak energy efficient performance. Verde Solaire offers free in-home estimates, locally owned and operated since 1983. Visit them at verdesolaire.com. Better, cleaner, faster.
Hi, this is Louis Rice with Rice Accounting, Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, with a very sincere thank you for your continued business over the last 20 years. All of us at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service are very honored for the many community awards we've been given over the years. As always, we are open year-round, providing services for taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping. Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, located throughout northern Arizona, can help you with all your tax and accounting needs. For our nearest location, call 800-234-1040.
Let's talk. That's the message from Jonna Randall Murdoch, your local Farm Bureau agent, providing a personal touch when making insurance and financial decisions. Jonna will simplify your insurance needs while offering competitive pricing. Let's talk auto, home, life, and farm. Call Jonna at Farm Bureau today at 928-649-8686. Your Cottonwood Farm Bureau property and casualty insurance company. At Farm Bureau, they insure more than just farms.
Welcome back to the program. Again, I'm Brad Miller, and our guest today is Percy Warcloud Edwards. Take a look right now at the KVRD Facebook page, and you will see exactly what we're talking about. Percy there with a number of dramatic and compelling photos of him in full outfit. You have more than a dozen?
14
different outfits, all of them hand-assembled by mom. Some of them by mom, or all done by you?
No, all by me.
When we broke, your mom was kind of becoming a big part of this at the beginning.
Right.
Okay.
She just showed me how to do beading.
She was there for the teaching part. Yeah. You did it all yourself.
I did the sewing, the cutting of leather.
One costume, how long did it take?
My first one took 600 hours. Now I can do them in less than 2 to 3 months. I can do a complete outfit.
Okay.
So I've gotten pretty good at it.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, I have a bear, a wolf, a fox, 3 foxes, a coyote, a badger,
each
a
outfit
cougar.
is a different depiction.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, based on what? Just
dreams.
Your own. Okay.
Yeah.
They come to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
what better way?
Yeah. My wife going, how much is your spending? You don't want to know. and I buy the real stuff. I don't buy plastic bones to the hair pie bones, like for the breastplate. The interesting story is that came from Hudson Bay Trading Company.
Really?
They needed to get the pelts and the skins off the natives because they were poor hunters. They couldn't do it. They couldn't trap as well. And so when you see a native wearing a breastplate, the more endowment, the straighter the shot he is. And the good provider, women look at him like, oh, he's a good provider.
Okay.
And in battle, you don't want to mess with a guy who has all that on it because he don't miss.
Is that right?
Yeah.
See, this is fascinating.
Yeah, I know.
So now, to my understanding, like any given outfit is going to have specific meanings and specific purpose?
No, just the same purpose. I have 3 red outfits, 2 yellow outfits, or one yellow outfit, 3 black outfits. How many white outfits? 3 white outfits. Then I have a blue outfit. I have a horse dance outfit, and I have a grizzly bear headdress.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just whatever comes to me.
Okay. And then there's some dramatic face paint that goes along with it.
When I first had my dream, I had face paint on, and the day I'm tired of this face paint. I didn't wear it one day. Boy, my breastplate blew apart. I had my bells broke, and Mom goes, well, your spirit said
you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong. You have to wear face paint every time. So I reinvent the face painting. I do some weird design. I'll sit in back of my car with a little mirror and paint myself up.
Yeah.
I can get ready in 45 minutes.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very detailed and intricate.
Yeah.
I would have thought that
I'm
would take
pretty good at it.
A team of 3 or 4 people doing it for you.
No.
You can do it while driving down the road. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe.
Actually,
maybe
I have. When my wife had to drive to a powwow and I was late, I had to sit in the back seat and put makeup on. That was tricky.
Again, I can't stress enough to kind of go along with this, the visual piece of this, because this is a visual topic that we're kind of talking about. Percy Warcloud Edwards, and take a look at the KVRD Facebook page. We have these photos posted there, and they are just extraordinary. And extraordinary to the point that they started to get attention of folks even in our nation's capital. Talk to me about, and the folks will see as they look at the pictures, you're in front of the Lincoln Memorial, on the mall. Talk to me about how that happened.
Well, at this Vietnam traveling wall
in March,
Trey come up to me. He's one of the organizers for the one back in D.C., the 50th ending of the Vietnam War, and he said, "Can you dance in D.C.? I mean, do you have can you get there?" I'm going, "Well, yeah. I used to travel all over. I had an office in Arlington." Mm-hmm. And he goes, "We'd love you to come down." I said, "Fine. Just, hey, you're paying my way?" He goes, "Yeah." So, and I was booked kind of late, and I didn't get the same hotel as Jerry. So I had to pick Jerry up, Geronimo Martin.
A guest on the show when we were talking about the wall.
I had to pick him up every morning and drop him off. And DC traffic and an excursion is a nightmare.
But a colorful passenger.
Oh, my gosh.
There's a fellow who's got stories.
Oh, yeah.
He was a terrific friend of KVRD, and we salute Geronimo. He told me to call him that. And integral in putting together that event in March, and clearly on your journey as well.
So he goes, all right, well, I mean, we'll have you dance. And I said, okay, when do I? He goes, well, we'll have you dance Thursday. I go, well, what about the other 2 days? He goes, can you just walk around and look good? I'm going, heck yeah, I can. And then...
Now, this was, let me be clear, I'm not quite following a little piece of this. This was in conjunction with a Native Veterans Affairs, or...
No, well, Jerry Geronimo and Danny Many Horses were his performers. So we had a little tent with Native American veterans in there. So we sat in a tent. Jerry did all the time because he had a hip that went out. So he was in a wheelchair. But he just wanted me to perform and walk around and greet people. And I took pictures, probably 5,000 people.
Yeah. A lot of folks. Yeah.
So, so it was an honor. So before I got there, he calls me up and goes, "Oh, by the way, Percy, we don't have a place for you to perform. We don't have a time slot." Mm-hmm. And can you just walk around for 3 days? I'm just like, yeah, I can. Yeah. And some of the venues were like a quarter mile apart, maybe even more.
Sure.
And walking across D.C. and school kids looking and running over at me, and all these people kind of like, what is that? Yeah. They just never seen anything. That outfit weighs 50 pounds.
I believe it. Oh my gosh, I believe it.
And so dancing 50 pounds. Yeah. Being almost 65,
wears you down a little bit.
Sure does. But then Danny Many Horses is a flute player, and he said, "Hey, I have time. Why don't you just take my, do a couple dances?" Mm-hmm. So I cranked that music up and did a couple dances, and everybody started running over and pictures, and it was pretty fun. So I got to perform, and he looked at me like, "Do you want to join our troupe? We're going to Italy, but it's too late to book you. But we're going to Germany for 6 weeks in October. I'd like you to come and bring like 3 outfits." I said, "Yeah, I'll come."
And that's coming up. Yeah, you're talking this October.
Yeah.
Just as a kind of, it's extraordinary. Now you think about this. You talk about the school kids just kind of seeing you anecdotally, and they're going to assume here's a guy who grew up doing this, knowing all of this. And to me, it's even more exciting that it came to you as a grown man, as an adult, after you've kind of lived a life, had a career, started a family, all of those things, that really this kind of started to sink in later. It seems to me that makes it even bigger in your own heart and mind.
And especially, I had to study so much on, because people were asking me, "Oh, what's the significance of these feathers?" And I'm going, let me get back to you on that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And I had to read history about where our dances come from, like the jingle dancers. That's in Ojibwe. Fancy dancers come from Buffalo Bill Wild West show. Mm-hmm. They wanted some really exciting dancers, and one guy put two bustles on and started doing spinning. Goes, "I want that guy." And then all the other dancers start copying. So that's how that started.
Okay.
By Buffalo Bill.
Okay. And
so, yeah.
There's some weird
there's
irony
history
to
that I hear all the time.
Oh, sure. Sure. You're going to probably run into just the attraction of those outfits and what you do.
Yeah.
Unlike anything, not many people do that. And a lot of folks, especially in a place full of tourists like the nation's capital, are going to be just enchanted by you. By your presence.
Well, I was asked by the Obamas to perform at the White House.
Is that right?
Yeah, but they only gave me 2 weeks' notice, and I go, "What's your budget?" They go, "What budget?" I'm going, "Let me see how much it costs." It's like $5,000, and I told my company, "Well, I have an office out there. You were just out there."
Yeah.
And I said, "Sorry, guys, I can't come."
Just couldn't quite get it done.
And then I was supposed to dance for the King's camel race in Saudi Arabia, and we were all packed up, and our drums were about ready to send over, and COVID.
Oh. They ruined so many people's plans.
They were going to pay me $300 an hour, 6 hours a day for a month.
Oh my! That would have been in a story.
Oh yeah,
you would never get tired of telling.
So someday they're going to revisit that, and hopefully I get to go.
And that'll happen. In the meantime, it's Germany. We'll take a short break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up again. Go to our Facebook page. See the pictures of the outfits. The presentation that Percy Warcloud Edwards is behind and how it really changed his life. And I can't stress enough to you how interesting and extraordinary these costumes and this presentation is. It's on our Facebook page. That's just Facebook and KVRD. We'll be back to Countywide right after this.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called unexpected. So when it comes to financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Matthias Sandoval. A job loss, change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Call our office to schedule a face-to-face appointment.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Verde Solaire, your hometown heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company in the Verde Valley, and your trusted North Central Arizona Goodman dealer. Goodman is a name you can trust with the revolutionary Comfort Bridge technology factory installed into select Goodman gas furnaces and air handlers to ensure the entire system operates at peak energy efficient performance. Verde Solaire offers free in-home estimates, locally owned and operated since 1983. Visit them at verdesolaire.com. Better, cleaner, faster.
Hi, this is Lewis Rice with Rice Accounting Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, with a very sincere thank you for your continued business over the last 20 years. All of us at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service are very honored for the many community awards we've been given over the years. As always, we are open year-round, providing services for taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping. Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, located throughout northern Arizona, can help you with all your tax and accounting needs. For our nearest location, call 800-234-1040.
Let's talk. That's the message from Jonna Randall Murdoch, your local Farm Bureau agent, providing a personal touch when making insurance and financial decisions. Jonna will simplify your insurance needs while offering competitive pricing. Let's talk auto, home, life, and farm. Call Jonna at Farm Bureau today at 928-649-8686. Your Cottonwood Farm Bureau property and casualty insurance company. At Farm Bureau, they insure more than just farms.
We welcome you back to the program. Again, our guest today, fascinating. And take a look at those photos on our KVRD Facebook page. Percy Warcloud Edwards, the outfits that you have spent hours and hours and many hundreds of hours putting together are just really something rich in the heritage and what the meaning that they have for this gentleman who is our guest today, but for you too, as you take a look and just kind of take it in. It's really extraordinary. Well, so Germany in October, what else is kind of coming on the horizon? You're keeping busy.
Well, yeah. I know Tuzagut and Montezuma's Castle want to have me over.
Sure.
They just, when the weather kind of getting nice.
Sure.
And then Boy George, his niece was visiting me because my ex-business partner, that's her assistant, and she has this deep British accent, and she goes, "Oh, my uncle would love to see you." And going, "Can you get dressed?" I go, "Who's your uncle?" "Boy George." I'm going, "Really?
The singer, Boy George."
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's.
So I said, "Well, I'll buy one of your war clubs." I go, "They're expensive." "I don't care. I want you in your outfit, and I'll show my uncle." So I said, "Okay." So she came over, and I'm in my outfit, and she has her phone. She's trying to call her uncle.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't answering. Then she sent a picture of me. He's on FaceTime right looking at me, and I'm going, oh, you're taking your makeup off too, huh? And he goes, dude, I want you to come down to Phoenix at the Talking Stick when I'm there. I'm going, yeah, sure, I'd love to. And hopefully that will work out.
So that's in the works yet?
That's in the works.
Okay.
And he wants to paint me. I says, well, my only cost is I want a one-of-one artist proof.
Okay.
As you see in my house, there's probably 50 paintings.
You're talking like a painting.
Yeah, painting.
Yeah, like, okay, he's an artist.
He's an artist.
Interesting.
Yeah, abstract artist. I had to Google him, make sure he wasn't these, weird Van Gogh.
Yeah, who knows? Right. Yeah, Boy George's got a colorful past as well.
And then,
well, that's exciting.
Another thing is Albuquerque coming up next. The last weekend in April is the Gathering of Nations. Not this year, but the last year, National Geographic took photos of me in my 3 different outfits.
Okay.
And when they saw my cougar one, they're going, okay, that's the cover. He says, you're going to be on the cover of National one of these days. We just have to find a slot. So I had pictures of my other 2 outfits. When he saw my 3rd one, he goes, okay, guys, we're wrapping up. Take this picture and we're done. And so he'll get a hold of me when it hits National Geographic.
It doesn't get any bigger than that.
Oh, no. I've been in like several magazines, and I love it. It's fun.
Yeah. Oh.
And my last name, Edwards, is not a native name.
Yeah.
Back in the census, we had to have 2 names. And if you couldn't pronounce your last name or spell it out, they threw a dart at a board and go, Edwards, good Christian name. Because we're related to no Edwards.
Is that right?
Yeah, none.
There's another story right there.
Yeah.
Well, Percy, thank you so much for coming in and sharing. This has been extraordinary. And one more time, I will strongly encourage our listeners to see those photos that you were so kind to share with us. They're on our KVRD Facebook page, Percy, in these, a number, I think maybe 3 or 4 of the many outfits that you have, but taken in our nation's capital and his visit there. So thank you so much. And
you're welcome.
We're excited. Once all this other business happens, we'll have you back and talk about your continued adventures. It's countywide, and we'll see you next time.
This has been Countywide. Listen in each Tuesday and Thursday at this time. If you have a topic or guest idea that you'd like to suggest, email us, news@myradioplace.com.